What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I want to do something a little bit different. You see, on this channel we talk about the Transformers trading card game a lot, we talk about Keyforge quite a lot, we've started talking about Final Fantasy, but what I really want to start doing here is showing you guys some board games which aren't going to get a million videos. They're going to get one or two videos where I just show you board games that I think are cool and I think you should be checking out. And I want to start off today having a look at an awesome game, Pirates of Penryn. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm a very proud Cornishman. For those of you that don't know what that means, it's the little southwest foot of the UK. We have a lot of coastline, and we have a lot of history, stories, myths, call them what you will, about pirates and pirate-related things. So a lovely pair of Cornish folk have gone and made the game Pirates of Penryn, so you can be pirates sailing around places like, in fact, the titular Penryn. Now, I met the creators of this game at the UK Games Expo, and they talked me through a bunch of stuff, and they had rum and gold chocolate coins. What more could you want? And it really strikes my fancy. Now, one of the things you'll notice about this game, or you might not, depending on your comfortability level with Cornwall, this is a very Cornish game. You can see the game mat on the screen here, and you've got Flushing, Penryn, Pontchartrain, Falmouth. These are Cornish places, and without getting too deep into it or too pinicky, that's roughly what the geography looks like. We also see that a lot of the cards in the game are named after, well, Cornish places. So, Red Roof, a crew member card you can get in the game, well, Red Roof is the town in which I currently live. And of course, we've got Ventongimps. Ventongimps the monkey. Yes, Ventongimps is legitimately the name of a real town in Cornwall. Yes, people snigger. We've got some weird place names. So look, any of you watching that have any interest in Cornwall, the Cornishness alone should make you very interested in and excited about the game. But I'm aware that there are probably a very small minority of you watching this that are actually Cornish. So for me, it was an easy sell. For you guys, might be a little bit more difficult. How about if I tell you all about a sea monster, Morgor? And I might well be pronouncing that wrong. Now, it is based on an actual Cornish myth of a sea monster off the coast of Falmouth. Falmouth was where I'm born, incidentally, although it has been cutened up a little bit for this particular game. And if that doesn't work, maybe I'll tell you a little bit about the game. Although one thing that does interest me right off the bat, the game mat here is actually smooth and silky and cloth-like. It is not the rubber mat that I and probably a bunch of you might expect from playing in trading card games, or just a fold-out cardboard board. Does that work? Let's say it works. Like you might expect if you're more into your traditional board games. It's unique and a little bit lovely. So, the game then, what's it all about? You sail your boats around, you sell rum, and you make florins. Florins, incidentally, are a type of coin that were in pretty much constant circulation with very little change from the mid-1200s to the mid-1500s. Along the way, you need to look out for tides, winds, whirlpools, and of course, the aforementioned eccentric sea monster. You can go and get yourself some crew to defend yourself, and of course, like any good pirate game, you can steal each other's rum. And the game ends when somebody declares themselves out of rum. I did check this with the designers when I met them. No, you can't just sell one barrel of rum as fast as possible and then declare the game to be over. You've got to actually sell all of your rum, or have one of your competitors sell all of their rum. Now, at its core, it is a game where you start off at your galleon, you've got your little rum runner, and you take your rum, you take it to ports, and you sell it for as much as you can. And there are questions to be asked of yourself here. Do you go to Falmouth, which is nice and close and can always be accessed? You'll notice the dark water meaning it's all deep. But it doesn't pay very much, or do you take a longer trip out to Penryn, which is significantly longer, significantly more perilous, and due to the fact that it's in quite shallow water, can only be accessed at certain times of the tide? And if you want, you can play a nice simple version where you just toddle around as far as you're allowed to go, sell your rum, get back, and you're good. But the thing that really interests me and intrigues me about this game is that there's lots of little mechanics that add little bits of strategy, and that's what takes it from me from a, hey, it's Cornish, I like Cornwall kind of game, to an, ooh, that's the kind of game that myself and my family could really get into. My mum's been asking me to put on more game nights since I showed her Exploding Kittens. My mum's not a gamer, we got to ease her into this stuff. But I think this is one of the games I can use to actually do so. So we've got the wind. Now the wind changes throughout the game, but you can generally move 1 square in each direction, unless you're going with the wind, where you can go 2 squares, or against the wind, which you're not allowed to go. So if you can plot yourself a course that involves going with the wind, you will be moving literally twice as fast. Then, of course, we've got the tide that changes throughout the game. You'll notice you've got 3, essentially, shades of water there that can be accessed at different times during the game. Sometimes you can only go into deep water, other times you can go into the shallow water. So if you're trying to get yourself over to Falmouth, for instance, you can get there any time of day, whereas if you're trying to get yourself to Penryn, that's going to be significantly more difficult. You're going to have to pick your time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, and there's whirlpools all over the board. If you hit one, you pick up yourself a whirlpool card, which could be kind of good. Take the Lucky Rascal card. Your crew wakes up without a hangover. You find that without a crippling headache, your crew is significantly more effective, increasing your move from 9 yaws and runs to 12. Basically means you get 1/3 extra movement. Cool. Or indeed it could be bad, like the Whirlpool Peril and Strife, Chocolate Fish Fingers. Merfolk catch scent of chocolate aboard and surround your boat. You firmly remind everyone that this is precisely why chocolate is contraband. They'll swipe it and 2 barrels of rum to wash it down if your ferocious crew can't stop them. At least you get a chance to fight them off beforehand. Now, in terms of how you actually go about winning the game, when the game is over, you've got victory points. Every crew member you have at the end of the game gives you 2 victory points. Florins are worth as much as they're worth. 1 is worth 1, 3 is worth 3, etc. But your rum does not give you any victory points. There is no reason to stash your rum until the end of the game. So might I suggest, I don't know, selling the rum? It's literally the entire point of the game. You know, that and just deliberately annoying your friends by stealing their rum, getting in their way, etc. What else are friends for? Now, I keep talking about this eccentric sea monster. We haven't got time in this video to go extensively into the rules, but I do want to mention Mogwai while we're here, or Morgower, it's probably pronounced. And essentially, there are 8 spaces around her, because typical grid, you're in the middle, 8 spaces around you. And if you hit an adjoining space, you lose a random card from your hand. Now, you've generally got up to 9 cards in your hand, which is mixed between florins, rum, and crew. And that means you're either losing your money, your rum to make your money, or your crew to defend your rum to make your money. That's not good, ladies and gentlemen. That's not good. Now, if you like, you can actually make sacrifices to the sea monster. And if you sacrifice cargo, you send her back to her cave. If you sacrifice crew, you can send her to any unoccupied deep water space. And clearly here, it's one of those spaces right next to one of your opponents, the one you're most annoyed at or most enjoy trying to make lose. And florins, you give the sea monster florins and you can sail a bit further. Yay! Now there's plenty more to the game. There are skirmishes and battles with your crew. So if we have a quick look at the crew member here, we've got Squiddy. I know, right? And you got a tattoo, which gives you specialist skill. Pistol Cutlass Parrot. Essentially, if you duel with another player, you've got a rock, paper, scissors thing going on. You've got a ferocity level to take down threats from whirlpools, remember the one we saw a little bit earlier, or skirmishes with other players. Trait is completely useless, but come on, you've seen already, this game's got a nice sense of fun about it. It's one of the things that brings it, right to the forefront of my mind in terms of joy. Biography, again, useless but fun. And charm level, which can be used to defeat threats from whirlpools and skirmishes, etc. That's quite nice. Now, we're not really going to get into battles here, but there is a little bit of a thing on the board, so you can see roughly how they go about working. The point is, on this channel, I want to start showing you other games that excite me, other tabletop games that I think you should know about, and this is a game that I think you should know about. If you're at all interested in Cornwall, and, I can vouch for Cornwall being awesome, this is probably the game for you. But if you want a nice tactical game with lots of little sub-levels of strategy, this seems kind of cool as well. Running your rum to and from seems fairly easy. Trying to avoid the sea monster, avoid the whirlpools, or take your chances if you want to hit them and hope it's a good thing. Sailing with the wind into the places where the tide is correct, that makes things a tad bit more difficult, ladies and gentlemen. Now, obviously, compared to some games out there, this still is not on that higher level of, oh my goodness, this will take weeks to learn. But there certainly looks to be enough strategic depth to make it fun. Although, incidentally, there is a basic version where you just ignore the wind, the tide, the whirlpools, and the sea monster, if you want to be playing with newer players, children, etc. Although why they would want you to take the sea monster out, I don't know. And there is a 2-player version where essentially you each get 2 little rum runners, and yeah, you just play with 2 of you. Sounds like fun. So I'm a little bit excited about this game, and I think you should be a little bit excited about this game. And I would like to know how excited you are, so do let me know in the comment section. And if there's any other games that have just come out or are coming out soon that you think I need to be taking a look at on this channel, hit me up in the comments, would ya? Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about games like this and a whole bunch of others. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.